everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are Holiday with the Heathers. Today we are going to take you on a very exciting tour of the city that never sleeps, which is our home away from home, New York City. So we are here today with USA Guided Tours. This is our new car for the day. It's an open top van, which we're very excited about. So let's go on and show you what the van has to offer. This video is in collaboration with USA Guided Tours. We would like to thank you so much for this amazing day we had in New York City. The tour that we embarked on was called the Discover NY Tour, in an open-top bus costing around $125 per person. The tour departs daily at 9 and 10 a.m. on 7th Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets. Now let's introduce you to our fantastic tour guide, Tyler.
Testing, can you hear me in the back? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to New York City. USA Guided Tours. My name is Tyler. Hey, it's her. Manny is an awesome driver. Could never know trade places, right, Manny? Right. Welcome to Times Square. And regarding the boundaries of Times Square, the boundaries are 40th Street in front of us and 53rd Street behind. 6th Avenue left to 8th Avenue right. These are the boundaries. So 40th to 53rd Street, 6th to 8th Avenues. Those are the action that takes place every New Year's Eve. Have you seen the Blow the Ball drops?
Yes.
Oh, some of you missed it. What's coming up ahead? Oh, all the ads top to bottom, 2023. We're gonna do make a right at the next slide, so turn it right, you'll see coming up the windows on the left. Alright, but just to let you know, this area, it wasn't always known as Times Square. Between the years 1840 and 1900, this was called Long Acre Square. Long Acre Square before cars. This is all horses and carriages. This area is completely rural, if you can picture that. This is people who buy and trade horses. This area is the heart of the carriage trading industry. That's why we still have the horse and carriage rides at Central Park. It's all part of the history of Long Acre Square. It wasn't until the New York Times newspaper built upon the ball drops in 1904 that this area was renamed Times Square. This was named after the New York Times newspaper. It was just a marketing strategy. At the stroke of midnight, January 1st, 1904, to celebrate the new building and the new name change of this area, the New York Times threw this huge fireworks display. And so we continue that tradition today, but with the ball drop. 2023, and that's the ball. By 9 a.m. on New Year's Eve, cars are not allowed here. Any car found here will be towed away immediately. It relies 7th Avenue and Broadway facing that building. The ball starts from the top of the pole and is lowered to the countdown, and there's a fire confetti. Oh, so just mention this right here. This is a TKTS booth. This week at Broadway show tickets up to 50% off. Now, how it works, you have to buy and go the same day. But I'll give you some info on that. We're looking up to see the ball again, 2023. The ball looks big on TV. Yeah. So it's big on TV.
It sure does.
But it's 12 feet in diameter. 12 feet, it's like 4 meters in diameter. So Central Park, big park, covers 840 acres. It begins at 59th Street, ends at 110th Street. Central Park, 51 city blocks long, 3 avenues wide. It's 6 miles all the way around. 6 miles, about 10 kilometers. So Central Park is coming up on the right. On our left, we're going half around this roundabout. This is Columbus Circle, the very first traffic circle built in this country. That's back in 1892. Commemorates the 400th anniversary when Christopher Columbus discovered the New World. Now we have some twin towers above us. This is called the Deutsche Bank Center. The twin towers of the World Trade Center collapsed September 11, 2001. This was completed December of the next year. It's just half the height, 55 stories. The base of the complex, huge mall, gorgeous mall. White Tower, home to one of the most expensive hotels, called the Mandarin Oriental. When it's expensive, the Royal Suite is $36,000 a night. And on the right, the Trump Tower. Yeah. See you guys. We're located on the Upper West Side. It's about to smell the money in a minute. It gets real upscale up here. So on the left corner, that is not Target, that is Target. Alright, so we're going on the tour. We have a couple hours together with a bunch of stops. We're arriving at stops. Get out of the bus. We walk around for a few minutes at a time, so you get a feel of the different parts of the city. To enjoy New York, you gotta walk it. So first up will be Central Park. We're walking into Strawberry Fields, the memorial dedicated to former Beatles star John Lennon. Stop 2 would be Rockefeller Center. So the Ice Can Rain, Christmas Tree, NBC, St. Patrick's Cathedral. Stop 3 will be Madison Square Park. From that park, we'll have a really nice view of the Empire State Building and a building called the Flatiron Building. From there, we make our way down to the Financial District. We'll grab lunch. Lunch will be kind of grab and go. About 35 minutes, I'll show you options. You'll have great options. Where we're having lunch will be right at the World Trade Center. So I'll give you a tour of the 9/11 Memorial. I'll give you time to walk on your own. The last thing we do the Staten Island Ferry. We're sailing 25 minutes to Staten Island, 25 minutes back. From the boat, you have a nice view of the Manhattan skyline as well as the Statue of Liberty. The tour ends, well, we started in Times Square at around 4 o'clock-ish. Okay, we're making a right. Looking to the left, large white building, green at the top, that's called the Ansonia. The Ansonia is built in the year 1904. When it's so luxurious, when that opened in 1904, in the lobby, their fountains were live seals. In the basement, Olympic-sized swimming pools and Turkish baths.
Wow.
The walls 18 inches thick, making it fireproof but soundproof, but to attract a lot of musicians. Condominiums to purchase their start at $1.7 million. We're 2 blocks from Central Park. This area has been prime real estate since the 19th century. We're talking a lot about celebrities in this area. Okay, this neighborhood that we're in, this is the Upper West Side. To rent here, 1-bedroom apartments go for around $4,000 a month. Don't be shocked, welcome to New York. And while in New York, notice street tent colors. Our street tent colors change: blue, black, brown, green. Street tent colors in the corner are brown. In New York, when you see brown signs, it means that the streets are historic streets. On historic streets, buildings are preserved as landmarks. They can never be demolished. So you guys get ready, we're hopping off at the next light. And just explain how the tour works. Super guided tour. I don't leave you at any point in time in the tour. So by means, any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask. I'm a tour guide, I'm cool like that, we're hanging. And the bus is with us all day. If you leave anything in your seats, leave your things. Okay, we're also about 20-25 minutes at a time. The cooler up front here has water, it's for you, help yourself. As we're getting on off the bus, you have the ashes take, this for you. Now this building on the left, this is the Dakota. Very first lecture building built, I mentioned built in 1884. Right at that entrance, that's where John Lennon was shot. That happened December 8th of the year 1980. When it's luxurious high ceilings, fireplaces, chandeliers, the entrance was designed for horse-drawn carriages. Currently Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, she still lives here. She's 90. She looks great. Also in this building, R&B singer Roberta Flack, she did the song Killing Me Softly. Lauryn Hill did the remake. Also, journalist Maury Povich from The Maury Show lives here. They got his paternity test. Yeah, this is our stop.
So this was our first stop on our USA guided tour around New York City. This was West Central Park and also the place where sadly John Lennon was shot, and we were going on into Central Park to see Strawberry Fields. So we've just got off at our first stop. We are at Central Park, which is to the right of me, and we are going to see the John Lennon Memorial and Strawberry Fields. And this building just here, as our lovely tour guide said, is where John Lennon was shot in the year 1980, and his wife still lives here at the age of 90, Yoko Ono. So Google those information, but our tour guide is absolutely fantastic. I'll get her name in a minute and hopefully she'll introduce herself, but she is so good. Please, please, please do this tour. We've been on it for 10 minutes maybe, and honestly we're really enjoying it, and we're not just saying that because this is sponsored, it's so good. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. Oh, we're getting greeted by a doggy as well.
I know. Oh.
I'm stopping because from here, we have a really nice view of the Dakota. So mention that Yoko, she still lives here. She owns 2/3 of the 7th floor. You see the black railing going all the way around? Her windows face the park.
So the side, Yoko's study.
Oh, see, there's an apartment for sale, y'all. 4th floor.
I'm a realtor. Yeah.
Well, we'll get into
I know.
3 bedrooms, wood brick fireplaces in all 3. Asking price, $12 million. And we're going to Israel Lennon. So he was shot right at that entrance by Mark David Chapman. It was totally senseless, truly tragic. Shot was up for parole about a month ago. 12th time applied, 12th time denied. I don't think he's going anywhere. But every anniversary of that incident, fans placed flowers around the building and light candles, which aggravated a lot of residents. Other people live here too. And they begged Yoko to make another area with a pay homage. She did that, she could have Strawberry Fields in Central Park. Strawberry Fields has nothing to do with strawberries, which would have been nice. It's the name of an orphanage in Liverpool, England. Lennon's hometown's very fond of. And that orphanage exists to this day. It's called Strawberry Fields. And then he and Paul McCartney wrote that hit song, Strawberry Fields Forever. So the more it pays homage to his musical side as well as his humanitarian side.
But I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. And the world will live as one. Imagine there's no possessions. I wonder if you care. No need for greed or hunger.
There's ashes scattered here.
Are they?
Yeah, and it's just like, it makes me feel emotional because it means a lot to my mum and my mum's sisters because my granddad was a huge fan. Sorry, I'm a mess. And then he's playing that song doesn't help me.
She reigns in all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday join us. And the world will live as one. I want somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe our love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time.
Dried the tears. That was a really, really special moment to go there and actually experience it.
I knew he was shot, but I didn't know it was in New York.
Oh yeah, he was killed
I
right
never
outside where he
knew,
lived.
yeah, I never knew that. Never knew that. Oh, look at this.
It's beautiful.
This is as far as we'll go. We have to go back up that hill. So get your photos in. That bridge, that's the Bow Bridge. B-O-W, the Bow Bridge. One of 36 bridges in this park. There are 36. And guaranteed when you watch TV shows and movies and the premier bridge in Central Park, it's most likely going to be the Bow Bridge. It's been in Spider-Man, Enchanted, a whole bunch of Law and Order series. And this body of water, its no name, it's a lake. The 8 bodies were the lakes or ponds, one big reservoir. The Jackie Kennedy or Nassau Reservoir, which is further up. I just like people can go fishing, but catch and release. Take 2 minutes, take some photos. If you need help, I'll be happy to help. When it comes to the TV show Friends, unfortunately, much of Friends is not at all filmed in New York City. Most of it's filmed in a studio out in California. So Central Perk does not exist. The apartment building is supposed to be near here. It's nowhere around here. It's only downtown in Greenwich Village. But in the beginning of the TV show, when in front of the fountain, did the big jump, look straight over, you see the tall part of the fountain with 4 white doors.
Oh, okay.
That's the fountain in Friends. It's called the Cherry Hill Fountain. It was originally a water control. The water's off for the season, but it's called the Cherry Boat.
How good is this tour?
Really good so far.
It's brilliant.
Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if it picked it up. So I knew John Lennon was shot. I knew that, but I never knew where. And you know.
There.
Yeah, and why? Yeah. Now I know.
You learn something new every day.
Yep.
This is our cool tour guide just here. This lovely lady. You can hear the song again. He must just play it. I've
got a few clips of him.
Did you?
He was really good, yeah.
I've just followed him on Instagram. You'll see his name is j.rocks,
yeah.
and he is a very talented man doing Beatles songs, which I think is a really nice touch for people going there. I didn't realise his ashes were scattered there as well.
I didn't know that either.
No.
There's the building a bit more better detail now.
Just in front of those doors, just there. Known as Central Bark. So as we drove through Times Square, we visited amazing Central Park shortly after, strawberry fields, and we give you amazing views of the Dakota building. We are now getting back onto the bus to explore the rest of what this amazing tour has to offer. As you go inside the bus, you will see that there is lots of seating, very comfy leather seats, and our lovely driver Manny was there to assist with any of our driving questions that we had for him. They also had complimentary water that you could take at your own request.
Landscape parks was a European thing. It's just that many either came from Europe or who traveled to Europe. They wanted to copy that countryside landscape in the midst of a big city, like in Paris and in London. There was a contest held for the design of this park. Two Americans won it, Fetchwell Olmsted and Calvin Vaux. It took them 13 years to fill in and build this park. 13 years. The reason why it took so long, the big rocks. In the 1850s, used hundreds of thousands of tons of gunpowder. There was no dynamite in the 1850s. Used gunpowder to blow up this rock. And when they dump all that debris, of course, a river in New Jersey. I go to the top soil to make this park, Jersey. Jersey's called the Garden State for a reason. So being that this is a landscape park, every grass blade, every shrub, every tree, every flower, everything here was hand planted in a specific place for a specific reason. This is a man-made park. Looking down on the right, the Central Park Zoo. If you've seen the animated movie Madagascar, the zebra escaped the Central Park Zoo, called the Trinidad Grand Central Terminal. This is a zoo in the movie. Okay, the people who run the world, this is where you find them. We're talking that generational wealth. It's a very insular society. They socialize only amongst themselves. We cannot comprehend their world. They cannot comprehend ours. It's an interesting dynamic. I mentioned a TV show called Gossip Girl. It's a perfect depiction of life is like over here. The kind of wealth. If you've heard of Carlos Slim, the Mexican billionaire, he's been one of the richest men in the world, according to Forbes, for the past few years in the telecommunications. He formerly owned the New York Times newspaper. He has a townhouse right across from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, 5th Avenue, 81st Street, valued at $74 million. He's now the 9th richest in this country. His net worth is over $76 billion. He's behind us. 5th Avenue, 72nd Street. Yeah, I'm moving to the theme song, moving on up to the east side, to that deluxe apartment. Jefferson. Thank you, darling. Stephanie's TV show about a black couple, George and Wheezy, who live in a deluxe apartment here on the Upper East Side. Bristol ranks as one of the wealthiest of the neighborhoods within this entire country. And by the way, the expensive shopping coming up on Saks Fifth Avenue is going to reflect the wealth of the Upper East Side. Okay, we'll be window shopping from the bus. We're so safe from the bus. And the white building on the right, the Plaza Hotel. If you've seen the movie Home Alone 2, Lost in New York with Macaulay Culkin, this is the hotel the kid was staying in the movie. Even though the children's story, Eloise, the little girl lived in the Plaza Hotel. When it opened in the year 1907, a room cost $2.50. This was a lot back then. Today rooms run minimum $1,000 a night. The most expensive hotel room there, $25,000 a night. And looking left and right, famous Fifth Avenue shopping. On the left corner, Tiffany's, breakfast at Tiffany's. This is their flagship store, currently under renovation. And next to the Tiffany's is tall black building. This is a Trump Tower, where the NBC show The Apprentice used to be filmed, and what Donald Trump's New York residence is. It's open to the general public. The first 3 floors are commercial, but the rest of the building is residential. And I guess the question would be, why do we have this kind of wealth over here compared to over there? We got picked up a few moments ago. We're about 4 blocks from the Hudson River. The Hudson River empties into the Atlantic Ocean. You see, the west side used to be industrial. Shipbuilding, meatpacking factories, tanneries, breweries, railroads. Oh, New York's economy was a shipping and manufacturing economy for over 200 years. Up until the year 1965, 60% of the jobs in Manhattan was in manufacturing. 60%. If you heard of the Garment District, that's right below Times Square. You worked there. In the 1800s, early 1900s, 90% of the clothes manufactured in America was done in the Garment District. 90%, that's why immigrants are coming to work in these factories. Okay, we don't manufacture anymore. Top of the streets today are finance, insurance, and real estate. All right, but back to the shopping. Gucci, Prada, Dolce & Gabbana, Cartier, Versace, Burberry, Armani, reflecting the wealth of the Upper East Side.
Our second stop on the tour was the fabulous Fifth Avenue. We got to see the St. Patrick's Cathedral, the Atlas statue, and even the Rockefeller Center.
It takes up an entire city block, huge. Opened there in 1879. It took 11 years to build this church.
What's your favourite church? Cathedral?
Yeah, cathedral. Yeah, I like coming here lighting a candle, don't I?
Is that for your mum for her birthday?
Yeah. So it's the 4th today. So it's 1 week today. It'll be my mum's 73rd birthday?
Yeah.
73rd, yeah.
Happy birthday, Rosemary.
Yeah. No, that's a lie. It's 72nd.
72nd.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Rosemary. Yeah?
Yeah. Did you want to light one for yours?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've lit in so many candles in the past.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, make sure you donate, put money in there.
It's $2 for candle, but you can make a bigger donation of $10.
Oh, that's for 6 candles, isn't
for
it?
6 candles.
Yeah.
Should we go? Let's go back on the bus. We're only like our first hour into the tour.
Yeah.
And we've seen so much already.
Obviously, we've not recorded every single bit, have we?
So this video will be hours long.
Yeah.
So much already.
Yeah.
And we're only at Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
If you're taking pictures, go right ahead. I'm just lecturing. So Rockefeller Center is not a small area. It's 19 buildings. Okay, this is 50th Street. Rockefeller Center is 48th Street to 52nd. 48th to 52nd Street, 5th to 7th Avenue. There are no residences here. This is all commercial, shopping, office spaces, production studios. And Rockefeller Center is established in 1929 by Johnny Rockefeller Jr. Who is Johnny Rockefeller Sr.? He was responsible for Standard Oil, an oil monopoly, worked what we have today as ExxonMobil, Chevron, Amoco. If he was alive today, he would have been one of the richest men in the world. This would have been at least $650 billion. Atlas, tallest sculpture here in Rock Center. Rock Center is one of the last building projects in the United States to incorporate an arts program. A lot of the art you'll see here will be mainly mythological art. The theme is the gods helping humanity progress. The Rock has a god complex, you know, masters of the universe, that kind of thing. But Atlas wasn't a god, he was a titan. In Greek mythology, there was a war between the Titans and Olympians. The Olympians were Zeus, Ares, Athena, Titans lost. Atlas' punishment, he had to carry the world on his shoulders. We had the burden of the world on his shoulders. But I tell you this, there's a big controversy when it was installed in 1929. A controversy involving St. Patrick's. Having a Christ-like figure or a pagan god right at the entrance. Rockefeller Center searches a country for an entire year looking for someone to donate the really big tree. And this tree is a New York tree. It came from 200 miles of St. Queensbury, New York. It's an 82-foot Norway spruce. The tree is about 6 stories tall. And it takes 2 to 3 weeks to stand it up, trim it up, fill it in, and wrap it in 50,000 lights. That star at the top is a 900-pound Swarovski crystal star. A 900-pound crystal star. And the tall building behind is the tallest of the 19 buildings, 30 Rockefeller, 70 stories tall. Home to NBC Studios, the top of the Rock Observation Deck, TV shows Saturday Night Live, Lynn and Jimmy Fallon, and the Seth Meyers Show. That's all in this building. So I mentioned there's an observation here called Top of the Rock, 7th floor. It's fantastic. But let's make a left.
This amazing building behind is a collection of buildings called the Rockefeller Center. And thank you to USA Guided Tours. They have kindly gifted us tickets to go up to the observation deck. So that will be in a separate video again. We're going to go up there later and show you what it has to offer. We said that we'd never been up there and they kindly gifted us the tickets. It's in no affiliation with USA Guided Tours, but it was a kind gift. It is one of their tours that they offer as one of their night tours, but we'll go into more information about that later. But we're going to go over and show you the Rockefeller tree, and there's a massive Swarovski crystal star on top, which is just amazing. So let's go and show you what it has to offer.
So what I want to do right now, I want to make a quick restroom stop. And it may be an introduction for some of you. Rockefeller Center has one of the largest underground concourses in New York. You can enter any of these buildings because stretching from 48th Street to 51st Street, 5th to 6th Avenues, there's stores and restaurants underground. It's called the Rockefeller Complex.
Down like a hound. Mr. Wayne.
Yep.
Forgot to give you your Top of the Rock ticket.
Oh, thank you very much.
Apologies.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, I've never seen it down here.
You don't want to embarrass yourself, but I hope you're not so shame. Because you're all watching. But,
Is it nice?
the ice skating rink is usually up for 6 months out of the year. So we skate from like early October to the end of April. And then during the warmest season, they'll transform the area into an outdoor bar and grill called the Summer Grill. There'll be tables, chairs, umbrellas. But the pandemic, I can't even say the pandemic, the lockdown hit New York City really, really hard. All right, most shops and restaurants are forced to close and never came back. 66% of shops and restaurants have closed. Never reopened. The tree, back in the day, they used to just break it up into mulch and dump it in Central Park. But now it's dedicated to a nonprofit called Habitats for Humanity, and the lumber being used for building houses. And NBC's Today Show with Savannah Guthrie and Huda. You gonna wave for Al Roker? Oh, I'm still out. We're gonna wave during the weather. This is where everyone stands waving to the cameras. So we're gonna wave to the cameras Monday through Friday, early 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And when they have their concerts, the summer concerts, they erect the stage here. And the crowd's filling space in the cross streets.
So that's why you can see people performing in there.
And we have a lot of activities here in Rock Center. Wave for NBC during the weather. Check out the top of the Rock observation deck. There's a lot to explore on the concourse. Let me show you a little bit. Visit all the toy stores. The big one, F.L. Schwartz. If you've seen the movie Big with Tom Hanks dancing on the keyboard. And Home Alone is called the Mr. Duncan store. It's really F.L. Schwartz. F.L. Schwartz used to be on 5th Avenue, right across from the Plaza Hotel.
It's moved.
It closed 12 years ago. Everybody's shopping online. The rest kept going up. They had a hard time surviving. So it's been open here 6 years now. I think strategically placed to be in front of the tree. So you have everyone Schwartz there. You have the Nintendo store at that corner on the right. On the side of the tree, there's American Girl Place and Doll store. We passed the Lego store. What else can you do? You can go ice skating. And the thing is, if you want to take in a mass, the St. Patrick's Cathedral open to the public. And the thing is, we're just 2 blocks from the start of the tour.
Wow.
On 49th Street. Come over here. This is 49th Street. That corner over there is 6th Avenue. We started on 7th Avenue. 2 blocks. Tyson Rock Center border each other. On the bus, we just went on a loop. So that's 7th Avenue 50 went all the way up to 72nd. Once you're in Midtown, you're in a central location. You're within walking distance of many of the major attractions here in Midtown.
Enough.
Alright, so this is Rockefeller Center. Back to the bus. In the movie The Day After Tomorrow, when the flooders are coming to burn the books to keep warm, this is it from the movie. Built in the year 1911. 1911, it's the second largest library in this country, second largest. The largest is the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. It looks big, but it goes 5 stories underground. Biggest where it's huge. There's a pretty park behind it called Bryant Park. Bryant Park is built on top of the library's underground extension. That building takes up the entire city block. We're talking 125 miles of bookshelving. 6 million books. And, well, let me not pass it. This building looking up on the right, there's the Empire State Building. It stands at 102 stories tall. It has 2 observation decks. If you've seen the Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks movie, Sleepers in Seattle, they have the 86th floor observation deck. 86th floor is nice because you could be indoors and go outside. Versus the one on the 102nd. Looking right beneath the spire, that disc-like structure, that round structure, that's 102nd floor. It's completely enclosed. And it's $33 extra. I said 86th floor, good enough. Open 7 days a week. And it's offices, advertising agencies, law firms. There's about 150 companies in this building. As a matter of fact, it has its own zip code.
Does it? Wow.
10038 is the zip code of the building.
King Kong. King Kong.
It wasn't until that King Kong movie in 1933 that people wanted to make it to the very top. So then they opened observation decks. So it's only because of King Kong. Other than that, it's just offices. Flatiron Building. That was one of the very first skyscrapers ever built in New York. One of the first skyscrapers ever built, one of the oldest surviving. Built in 1902, 22 stories tall. There's been a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies. If you've seen any of the Spider-Man movies, that's the Daily Bugle in every Spider-Man movie. It's not the Gangster Hotel in John Wick. The John Wick Hotel is on Wall Street. There are 3 buildings in Manhattan shaped like this.
John Wick.
No, it's not. It's on Wall Street. John Wick Wall Street. It was offices, but it's under renovation, becoming a hotel. The Marriott Boutique, because we'll see a lot of changes pertaining to real estate. We got this cross picture. So we're getting close to Washington Square Park. It has an iconic arch called Washington Square Arch, patterned after the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. It commemorates the 100th anniversary of when George Washington became our first president. So left side, General George, right side, President George. If you've seen the movie When Harry Met Sally, this is the arch where they met in the movie. If you've seen Will Smith's movie I Am Legend, the second house, that's a house that's living in the movie. Even the zombies run through the park, they jump in. You can take a picture of any one of them, they'll look alike. If you watch the TV show Impractical Jokers, this is the guys who do the pranks of Washington Square Park. It's a fun part. What Canal Street is known for? Bargains. So Canal Street, you can get like 10 I Love New York t-shirts for $4. But when you watch them once, that's how you buy them. Bags, hats, t-shirts. Canal Street is known to be the knockoff capital of the world. So if you look for that Coach bag, but it says couch. What cracks me up is that the knockoffs, when I say knockoffs, mean counterfeit, they've always been illegal. That has never changed. Back in the day, they used to be up in an attic, down in the basement, behind a hidden wall. See this cracked down over the years. So you're not finding knockoffs in shops anymore. This broad building on our left, this is the criminal courthouse. Just to the right of it, the detention center, to the left of it, the detention center holds 1,500 inmates. And this building right here, this is family court. If you read the book Gangs of New York, seen a movie DiCaprio, Gangs of New York, this is known as 5 points. There used to be 5 streets that intersected creating a star. This is where the Irish immigrants settled in the 1820s, big wave in the 1840s. Many of these guys fleeing the potato famine created in Ireland at the time. This one coming up on the right, this is the Javits Federal Building, home to the FBI, the Department of Justice, the Department of Immigration Naturalization, the U.S. Treasury has some bureaus here. If you watch the TV show Law and Order on the left, that's the courthouse. The courthouse next door to that, coming up, the federal courthouse. This is the third commercial for the courthouse. When they have those big cases, the last one was Ghislaine Maxwell, the Madame of Epstein, how it was held here. Any of you saw Gangs of New York? Daniel Day-Lewis? Yeah. Great movie! It was violent as hell. It was a perfect depiction. This was a terrible, terrible slum. Dirt roads, high crime, high poverty, rows and rows of poor tenant buildings. What added to that is that the politics of New York was really violent and corrupt at the time. Well, not much has changed, it's just different then. Yeah, gangs ran everything. The Ghost Gang, the Dead Rabbits, the Pug Uglies, the Bar Boys. There was a story about one building that housed a bunch of tenants. This building experienced a murder per night for 15 years. Even the author Charles Dickens wrote that the slum of 5 Points was worse than every slum in Europe. The guy who wrote the Christmas Carol wrote that. But here on the right, this is City Hall, home to the offices of the Mayor of New York. It's the oldest functioning city hall in this country. It's been operating since the year 1811. 1811, we're officially in the oldest part of New York. Street sign colors have changed, you know. Street sign colors down here are black. In New York, when you see black signs, it means that the streets existed before the year 1700. The oldest part of New York. 1700. And keep your cameras in this direction because there's a church coming up on the left. I want you to get a shot of it. It's called St. Paul's Chapel. It's coming up right after these streets. St. Paul's Chapel, one of the oldest functioning buildings in Manhattan. It's been standing since 1766, 10 years before we declared independence. And I want you to take a picture of that church because right behind it is the World Trade Center. Alright, so it's coming up on our right. And we're back on Broadway. Let me tell you, September 11, 2001, when the Twin Towers collapsed, raining more than 1 million tons of debris out of the sky. Every building here was damaged by falling debris. Every single building, except that church. St. Paul's Chapel. This church stood directly across the street from the Twin Towers, not even a broken window. Cemetery intact, everything completely intact. So the tall building behind is a new Tower 1 of the World Trade Center. The only damage the church suffered in 9/11 is when firefighters went in for safety when the towers are coming down. Some of the heavy equipment they carried damaged some benches inside. That is the only damage it sustained, which is mind-blowingly amazing. It stood across the street. Then there's a little chapel that says St. Paul's Chapel. It's an Episcopalian church. And in the cross street, we're gonna see it again. Even though it's a white fan structure, it's called the Oculus. It symbolizes a phoenix rising out of the ashes. It's a mall in transportation. Open about 5-6 years now. We're gonna be back here because we're having lunch there. We're having lunch in the area. So lunch, you guys, is coming up in about 4 blocks. And look, if 35-40 minutes is a bit of a rush for you, you can bring food onto the bus. Don't mind you eating on the bus. You can bring food to the boat if you like to as well. We're gonna park up, set up a meeting point, meet us back in a few minutes. So we're doing lunch. After lunch, we do the Navajo Memorial. After the memorial, we do the Staten Island Ferry. After the ferry, we end in Times Square. That's the remainder of the tour. Alright, so we're here. So having lunch right here. Oh, but listen carefully. So we're getting dropped off here. We are not meeting the bus here. So you're gonna follow me. I'm gonna show you where to meet me in a few minutes after lunch. And when we gather from here, we're gonna walk through the memorial together, and we'll meet the bus on the other side of the memorial. So if you leave anything in the bus, you can still leave your things. Okay, we just won't be seeing the bus for about an hour. All right, but let's go.
Our third stop on the tour was the Gans Fort Liberty Market, where we had a 40-minute break for our lunch. We then visited the 9/11 Memorial afterwards to pay our respects to the victims of 9/11.
All right, so meeting point is here. That's the memorial right there, and we're meeting the bus on the other side. All right, so we're getting lunch options. If you want Burger King, we sell beer at Burger King.
No, we don't want
Party over there. But this building right here, this is Tower 4 of the New World Trade Center, brand new building. On the 3rd floor, there's an Italy.
Oh, there's an Italy.
There's an Italy.
So you can, if you want the experience, you can check it out up there.
Italy.
It's 2 escalators.
We'll go and check out the menu.
Got to.
If you want to follow me, on the lower level, there's a marketplace, Liberty Marketplace. There's a lot of options. There's Italian, there's Mexican, there's Thai, there's South bars, there's burger and fries. All right, the time right now, let's call it 12:55. 12:55. I'll see you guys. Meet me here.
Here.
Right here. I see at 1:35. 1:35. Right here.
120 set.
Okay, girl. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be late. Got it. Got it.
1:35.
Right, we've got a bit of a break now, haven't we?
Yes.
The World Trade Center, and we're going to go and get
Tower 4, isn't it?
Yeah, Tower 4, going to get some food.
Just to mention.
Dinner time.
Alright, so if you're going to Italy, like I mentioned, 2 escalators up, there's restrooms throughout the entire building. If you're coming down, come on, 1:35.
So we're currently standing in Tower 4 of the World Trade Center. This is a Westfield shopping centre, and as you will have seen in London, there are Westfields all over the place. There's a really good shopping mall over on the other side called the Fulton Mall. We are in here. We're planning on going up 2 floors to the 4th floor, which is known as Italy, which is amazing apparently. There was one further down, I think towards like Lower Manhattan. We're going to just check this out and see what's going on, but they've got these on all the floors. They have them in the Fulton Center as well, but you can see where the shops are if you want to buy anything. But we need food, so we need to go food and drink, and we can see fast food. That's what they've got in here, so I can already tell from that I'm not really that interested other than Dunkin'. So if we go back, casual dining, this is where we want to go, Italy. So it's on level 3 actually, my mistake. So if you click go, it's going to tell us where to go. We're going to go round to those elevators just there.
Escalators.
Escalators, sorry, or elevators, straight up to the level 3. So let's go. So we're in Tower 4 of the World Trade Center, and we are going up to level 3 to Italy because we are with an Italian family, and all they've been doing is talking about their New Jersey food.
We're not guaranteed going to eat there, we're just going to check out the menus, aren't we?
Yes.
If it's too expensive, then
We're going to go down to the food market with everyone else.
but we
Dunkin'
thought,
sounds good to me.
yeah.
That's part of Flatiron building.
Yeah.
So speaking about the revisions of the your actual room?
I'm good. It just feels really surreal and lovely that like we're here in the building. It's just amazing. It just makes me feel like.
Did you see the waterfall?
Yeah, we've been we've been there quite a few times.
I'm trying to get that accent. You gotta give me a minute.
I love Joey Tribbiani, obviously, but I love all of like The Godfather, things like that. I just love it.
If you're gonna do Little Italy, you're not too far from it from here.
We're on a tour actually, like a 6-hour tour.
Yeah, that's great.
But we come back.
Thank you.
Oh, this just looks amazing. Oh my god, they've got bubbles for. Oh, I'm in my element right now. I should have been. Oh, really nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
Actually, I've seen things. We didn't use about Ireland, which I love. Yeah, he's got Ireland. So we had a little look around the market. It is quite decently priced for New York City. You'd pay no more than $12, $14 for a sub. They had pizza slices for $11, which are really authentic official pizza. But as you can see, we're going down now to the market, which is on the lower floor.
It's like a food court, isn't it?
Food court, where there's a few restaurants and things. And then we're just going to grab some food and go how it was here.
Oh, it appears to be closed unless it's around the front.
It looks like it might be. Hopefully.
Yeah, I remember.
No, it looks like it's been closed down.
Do you want to just grab something from there?
Yeah, we'll have to grab something.
Go in here and have a look.
Yes, have a look, yeah.
That looks pretty good for me.
How much is that?
$8.95.
That's not too bad, is it? Has it got any like bacon?
They've got roast beef and turkey, Italian. Oh, I'm gonna get Italian actually. They've got turkey with cheese. Ham and cheese, that looks really good.
That does look nice,
Do
yeah.
you want that?
There's only salad in it.
Yeah, there's a little bit, but I can have that off.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for. Yeah, I think I'll go for what you've got there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Should we get some crisps?
We don't need water, do we?
No, we'll get free water, yeah.
Or should we get a little one now?
It's up to you.
Some apple juice?
No, I'm alright, I've got water. Right. Just need some chips, don't we?
Right, let's go get the lime then.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Have you got the receipt, please?
Are you signed? And you speak.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, thank you. So we are at Gansport Sandwich Shop, which is just there. And Jess and I both got an Italian sandwich.
I got original sea salt kettle chips.
Yeah, you got some sea salt kettle chips. I got some sweet onion.
And it came for $23.84.
Yeah. And how long have we got left until we got to get back on the bus?
I set my one for 20 past, but we don't need to be on until about 35.
Yeah.
But we're going to go down about 1:30 and meet the bus.
Yeah, so we've got about what, 10-15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Anyway, enjoy. Cheers.
So good.
So that's lunch done. It's about
really nice.
It's about 1:25 now, isn't it? And we've got to meet back outside at 1:35.
Yeah.
So we've come up a little bit early.
They did a happy hour. I'm tempted to leave the bus and do the happy hour. No, I'm joking. We're not.
So we've got to meet outside now at 1:30. We're about 5 or 6 minutes early than planned, but we just don't want to miss anything, do we?
No.
It wasn't just two buildings. The World Trade Center was a complex of 7 buildings. And the Twin Towers are the tallest, but when they collapsed, all that debris that came down, we lost not just the 7 of the World Trade Center buildings, we lost 4 other buildings down here. After 9/11, we lost 11 buildings. That day, we lost 4. The Twin Towers, the Marriott Hotel, and a 4th office house. The others were just so severely damaged. We eventually demolished. We lost 11 buildings. Okay, Lower Manhattan, this was a ghost town for about 5-6 years. We're building now, what the new World Trade Center consists of, will be 8 new buildings. So like I mentioned, Tower 4 is one of the 8 buildings.
That's impressive.
See, I came here in 2010, so it was only like 10 years after, and it was still like rubble and building work, and it was so
Still a decade after.
yeah, and it was still very eerie. The atmosphere around here was so. It was just it was really scary. Yeah, it was strange, but
The cross there.
I can't
It's
remember
now
now.
the museum.
I can't remember now. But me and Tim came down here 2010 just to check it out and pay our
You took me in
respects.
2012 when the pools
Yeah,
were made.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that was
Came here
right.
in 2012 when we saw
But
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
very sad. But I didn't realise they lost all them buildings as well. I thought it was just the 2 towers, but you learn something new every day.
This firehouse stood right across the street from the Twin Towers. So they were the first to arrive on the scene. They lost an entire shift. The building was demolished. It couldn't function as a regular firehouse for 5 years. But when it reopened in 2006, that bronze relief sculpture where the flags are was donated as a thank you to the 343 firefighters we lost that day. 2 minutes, come on. Regarding the memorial where the trees are, that's what the Twin Towers used to be. Okay. The memorial consists of 2 sunken waterfalls, 2 pools. The pools are the footprints of where the Twin Towers once stood. Okay, the name of this memorial is called Reflecting Absence. The 2 pools symbolize 2 voids. And along the walls are the names of the 3,000 people we lost that day. So hence Reflecting Absence, but it's a beautiful one, did a really amazing job. So all the new construction has taken place around where the towers used to be. To the top of this bar, that's Tower 1. To the right of it, Building 2. On our sides of the street is Buildings 3 and 4. The thing is, our bus is right across the light, so from there you have a better perspective of the buildings. Alright, but this white dome, this church, St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church, we lost this church after 9/11. We used to stand right behind where Tower 1 is. All these years later, they were building it right here. And the museum is a symbol with a slant at the top. That isn't just it. The museum goes 6 stories underground. They did a fantastic job. It's heavy. They really captured all the emotions of that day. If you get a chance to go, you want to set aside at least 2 hours out of your time to go through there. Alright, but we're going into 2 pools. The black walls in the distance, that's the north pool where Tower 1 stood. Right here, this is the south pool, the Tower 2 stood. Okay, right above us would have been the Twin Towers. If you look into the north pool, it has the names of the victims who worked in Tower 1. The names of people that played. And they added the names of the people perished in 1993 during the first attack on the Twin Towers. It was a truck bombing. A truck carrying explosives detonated in the suburb of Tower 1. It killed 6 names of the 6 were there. South has the names of the victims who worked in Tower 2, who were on that plane. But remember, September 11th, 4 planes were hijacked. Okay, the 3rd plane crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. The 4th one, the passengers waiting for the hijackers. That plane crashed into field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Their names are here. And it has the names of every first responder that we lost. And I'm not sure, it looks like you might see 1 or 2 today. As we're walking around the pools, if you see a white rose A white rose in the name of a victim. That means today is their birthday. I commend the memorial for doing something so special every day of the year after all these years. It's been 21 years. 21 years. If you see a different color flower, if you see a flag, if you see a wreath, it's friends, family members who are here today paying homage. And one last thing. I gotta mention it. There's a tree. Okay, there's a young lady sitting down in black. The tree, well, as you walk up the steps, you'll go right past it. It has a silver barricade around it. It's called the Survivor Tree. It was found beneath burning rubble of Ground Zero, and this was a 10-story hole in the ground. And volunteers, construction workers were cleaning up the area. Instead of ignoring it or discarding it, they decided to rescue it. And then they replanted it up in the Bronx. At a nurse, it's a really good care of it. And when they heard the moor was going to finally open, they donated it back. When they originally found it, it was black and it was broken, just 6 feet tall. Today, over 30 feet tall. It's a calorie pure tree. You'll walk past it, the Survivor Tree. So you guys will see you in 10 minutes. So far it's 4 skyscrapers. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's supposed to be a 5th, but they're having a hard time finding an anchor tenant. They have to find a company that's willing to lease at least 15 floors before the build's very tall. So like the anchor tenant for Tower 1 is Condé Nast, the publishing company. In building 4, we had lunch at Spotify. Building 5 is supposed to be just to the left of the Oculus in that space. But I mentioned also that we lost a hotel in 9/11, the Marriott Hotel. It used to be right here, right across the street. This would have been our view before 9/11.
Oh wow. Smart, isn't it?
Isa, to the bus. Hey, move. Give me love. Happy New Year. But now we're going underground. We're curving around the southern tip, we're leaving the west side, heading back over to the east side. Above us is Battery Park. We're meant to get the boat to the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, coming up, that's the Brooklyn Bridge. The brown one is the Brooklyn Bridge, but 3 bridges connect Manhattan to Brooklyn. The brown one is the Brooklyn Bridge. The blue one next door is called the Manhattan Bridge. There's a 3rd one in the distance called the Williamsburg Bridge. Best to remember our bridges? BMW. Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg. Simple. The thing with Staten Island, even though it's part of the city of New York, there's no bridge, tunnel, or subway connecting Manhattan to Staten. The only over there directly is by commuter ferry. Alright, so a ride to Staten Island takes 25 minutes. So it's 25 minutes to, 25 minutes back. If you'd like to leave anything on the bus, you can leave your things because we're coming right back to the bus after.
Our 4th and final stop was the Staten Island Ferry, where we had fantastic views of the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, Manhattan and Brooklyn skyline, and Staten Island itself.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do they still have the Dunkin' here? Maybe.
So remember, ride over is 25 minutes. Listen carefully. boat docks in Staten Island, it goes out of service. Everybody has to get off. So all walking through Staten Island and on to the next stop. Staten Island for 5 minutes. I'm on it with you, and I want you to follow me for the first 10 minutes. I want the best photos gonna be. And then you can roam if you like.
We need to do that, don't we?
Yeah, it's one thing we've not done, isn't it?
Ellis Island or the Statue of Liberty.
No. What's that island that with the Memorial Island?
Ellis Island.
Is that what it is? With the memorial thing?
It's not a memorial. Oh, Roosevelt Island.
No, it's the thing that they said that we can go and pay $3 to get there.
Oh, Governor's Island.
Governor's Island, yeah, we haven't done that either yet. We was going to do that in January, weren't we, when we was here last time, but we never got...
Old high school on it.
Yeah, but we never got on to do it in the end, did we?
No. But we're doing the Staten Island Ferry again.
Yeah. And this, guys, is free if you don't do the tour anyway. This is free, innit, to commute backwards and forwards. That's why me and Jess have done this quite a few times before in the past, haven't we?
It's a really good way to see all the bridges.
Yeah, and Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
And it's a nice way. It's the only way we can get over to Staten Island
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
There she is. Lady Liberty herself. We need to do a helicopter tour, I think. Take her over. Go down.
Well, we're off already, yeah.
So all cruise ships, cargo ships are coming from the Atlantic. Even the Statue of Liberty is facing the Atlantic. Somebody gotta pay for it.
Yeah, they are really beautiful.
All passengers must depart the ferry at this time.
No time for Arizona.
No.
Back on the boat we go.
Alright, so we're on a different boat. The boat we're just on has 4 levels, this boat has 3 levels. So this is level 2, above this is level 3. When the boat docks in 25 minutes, that's the front. So you guys, you have free time, you can be wherever you want to be. So you can roam the boat. Now keep in mind, when we get back on the bus, Times Square will be next and final. So you need the restrooms. The restrooms are only here in level 2. Men's room straight ahead here on the right side. Ladies' room on the left side. If you're looking for me, I'll be right back here. Because as the boat pulls out, it breaks the wind. And you have the view of Staten Island and the Versailles Bridge and the Statue of Liberty. Well, I'll see you at the front in 25 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Having good time?
Yeah, so just to recap, we started off in Times Square, then we went through to 5th Avenue, we got off no, sorry, we started off at Times Square, then we went to Central Park and got off at Strawberry Fields, then we went through round to Fifth Avenue, got off at the Rockefeller, looked at the Rockefeller Plaza, went downstairs. Then once we did that, we went through all of the districts, through NoHo, Soho, the financial district, past Wall Street. We stopped off at Manhattan Park as well on the way, no, Madison Square Park on the way. And then once we did that, we stopped off at the Ground Zero area where we had lunch. Then we went through Ground Zero. We went through Ground Zero itself. And once we went to Ground Zero, we got back on the bus and went past the Brooklyn Bridge. Then we got off at the Staten Island Ferry, where we've just took a journey, 25 minutes to Staten Island, back on the ferry, back over to glorious Manhattan, where we finish in Times Square. And that will be the end of our tour, and it was a total of 6 hours with a 40-minute lunch break.
And how much did it cost?
It's $125 per person. As I mentioned, we were kindly gifted this. So as you would have saw at the beginning of the video, there is product placement on this video. We were kindly gifted this by the company USA Guided Tours. This is their logo just here. Click in the description box down below for more information. There is other tours. They also do a nighttime tour, which includes a trip up one of the skyscrapers. I think you can add that on as an extra. We were kindly gifted that this evening, but they also do operate out of DC, which is Washington DC, which is known as the District of Columbia, the capital of the United States. But on that note, thank you so much for everything, for this amazing trip. Thank you for gifting this to us, and we really appreciate it. We hope that you book this tour. Please click in the description box below. So we hope that you come and do this tour on your next trip. If you come in the summer, they can open up the bus.
Yeah.
But apparently anything below 85 Fahrenheit, which is USA degrees over here, it's lovely. Otherwise it gets too hot. But the reason why the roof hasn't been open is because the driver has to drive for 6 hours straight, and it's too cold for him, and they don't want him to be sick, otherwise he won't have a job. But on that note, we're going to leave you with the beautiful Manhattan skyline.
Nice ride, nice day. That was just telling her that, you know, we're expecting storms to arrive this afternoon and so on and so forth. So I'm happy the weather's cooperated perfectly.
Yes, we brought it. That's
yes, you brought it. That's right. That's right. Random question: have you seen the Will Smith movie Men in Black 1, 2, and 3? The square shaped building coming on the right, that's the MIB headquarters from the movie. You know, when he walks in with security guard, he walks into the elevator, the aliens are downstairs. The MIB headquarters.
Wow.
How random is that? That is random. Alright, but here on the left, this is the west side. On the west side flows the Hudson River, Jersey City across the water. But regarding this cove, right here. Any of you saw the movie Sully? Or heard about that brilliant pilot, Captain Sully, was able to land the airplane in this river. I showed this neighborhood that we're in right now. This is Hell's Kitchen. It's completely safe. It's just had a really rough and rugged history. Even though the comic Daredevil, all that crime fighting, this is the neighborhood. This is Hell's Kitchen. Okay, things were so bad. We needed a blind vigilante. Slash lawyer. It is such a good story. What a great series. It was on Netflix, but now they moved it to Disney Plus. It's worth it though. So this is 11th Avenue. We end the tour on 7th Avenue. Alright, so well, between now and the very end, I'd love to leave with a bunch of tips and advice so that officially this tour, a local Even some of you locals and some of you leaving tomorrow. But tip number 1, we don't drive. 70% of us in this city don't drive. If I drove here, what would I park? The cheapest, easiest, most convenient in the city is by the subway. The beat up of the subway is just Manhattan. You can't get lost. It goes in 2 directions. Uptown, downtown. Uptown, downtown. Remember the key to the grid. I mean, whether you're walking in a taxi on the subway, remember. In Manhattan, as you head uptown, street numbers increase. As you head downtown, street numbers decrease. Okay, for example, right now we're on 52nd Street. If this is 52nd Street, we're gonna go back to Strawberry Fields, Central Park. On 72nd Street, our direction would be uptown. Come on, we could do this. This is 52nd Street. Let's say we want some really good gelato at the Chelsea Market. On 15th Street, we are heading downtown. All right. 52nd Street, we want some chicken and waffles at Sylvia's Soul Food Restaurant in Harlem. I need to get to 125th Street. We are heading. I'm gonna wrench it now. 52nd Street. We want to hang on in Chinatown, Little Italy, and the stop on the train is Canal Street. Our direction would be downtown. Yes. Remember. Yes, you are. Remember, in Lower Manhattan, the streets are named streets. So this is 52nd Street. I'm going to go to Wall Street. The direction is downtown. So you got it. Follow the signs. Some of you might have it already. Oh, Life on every New Yorker is this card, Metro card. And every subway station there are machines. Cash, credit, debit, money goes in a card. When you get it the first time, it's $1. Once you have it, just add in money, you can always refill. We're in one direction, the ride is $2.75. We're for 5 minutes, hour and a half, $2.75. My hour-long commute coming to the city, going home every day, $5.50 a day. Up to 4 people can share 1 card. Or get 1 card each. If you're sharing a turnstile, what you do? Swipe, hand it back, swipe. As you swipe, it deducts money automatically. You can always refill. I think that's about it. That's it. I think that's all I have to say. So my name is Tyler. I have been your guide. Manny has been our amazing job. I couldn't trade places with Manny. So in the meantime, you guys, make sure your belongings, cell phones, purses, wallets, bags, glasses, make sure of everything. And not to mention, we are in the service industry. We do accept tips, gratuities. If you're leaving something, we thank you so much. But lastly, if you see me outside and you have a question, don't act like you don't know me. Okay, I've been more than happy to answer your questions, guys. Thank you for coming to New York. Thank you, Choose USA Guided Tours. You know, I wish you and your family a prosperous 2023. I have a good feeling about this year. All right, and so we're just waiting to turn. And right here, this is where we started the tour. This is where we end the tour.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It's been a pleasure. You guys are great company. Great company. We cover a lot of ground today. From Central Park all the way from the Rockefeller Center. So Rockefeller Center is just a block and a half to the left. So when we cross the light, you see Radio City Music Hall, home to the Rockettes, Ladies do the Kicks. From Rockefeller Center, so the Empire State of Madison Square Park, had lunch out of the World Trade Center, Life Memorial, Staten Island Ferry. That's a lot of ground.
Thank you. Bye. So that was the end of our Discover NY tour with USA Guided Tours. We've had an amazing 6 hours. We've seen everything from Lower Manhattan, Upper Manhattan, Staten Island, the other side of the island, all of the grid, everywhere you can imagine. We've had an amazing day. Please click in the description box below if you would like to visit the website. It is www.usaguidedtours.com. I'm Jessica, this is Wayne, we're Holiday with the Heathers, we're in New York and we have got another amazing evening of content coming your way and we will see you very soon. Thank you, bye.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to